Going over to the political part podcast, you have a teacher putting up Pride, Progress, LGBTQ materials in a classroom, which may mean that the school could lose federal funding under Donald Trump's new executive order. Now, this comes to us thanks to Libs of TikTok, and I believe this is reason number 9,758,455,004 reason not to go to public schools with your kids. I know, especially thanks to the government ineptitudes and or corruption of the left and the right causing hyperinflation, it's very hard to have a parent stay home full time to take care of the kids for homeschooling. But geez Louise, for how much they basically brainwash your kids at public schools and also provide no real world, I would say, skill sets. Like, for the love of God, how many people are still paying off student loans because they didn't teach us a proper ROI of which degrees are best? Yeah, don't even get me started on that. But is it really worth going to public schools these days? I don't know. I venture to say they do more harm than good. That being said, I've had some good teachers, mostly bad, but this comes to us again thanks to Libs of TikTok, and she says, quote, Melanie Ramirez, a woke activist, first grade teacher at Pittsburgh USD, is converting her room to LGBTQ and DEI propaganda after Trump issued an executive order to end the radical indoctrination in schools. Her school can now be stripped of its funding for violating Trump's executive order, which some people think, well, maybe it's just a little small flag at her desk or a little personal swag or a weird creepy pin she has in her lapel, which no, it's and she's also wearing jeans apparently. No, it is all out, which again, the real question is, who is the flag manufacturers these days? They are making bank. Every 2 weeks there's another flag design. I can't but think it's like half of China's GDP right after the iPhone these days. But I partially digress. Maybe she's just trolling us and she'll say April Fools. Well, she won't, but let's see what her has to say. Oh, it's terrible music. Perhaps the only good time YouTube will, take the music out, but you'll hear it on the Rumble. So she's hanging and I'm not purposely trying to get the vernacular wrong, but I think it's called the Pride Progress flag. So we had the traditional Pride flag, was just the rainbow, but now this one has the triangle. And now it also has the triangle. Now it has also the circle with the yellow, which again, this is the umpteenth design. So she's hanging that flag, and it looks like she's also, bringing a bunch of books. So gosh, and again, how mentally vacuous are these people to buy these books? Which, yeah, these people are morons and creepy. One of the books is the one that is called Anti-Racist Baby, which is so stupid to insinuate that babies could be racist. So she's also putting books in the classroom. Speak up when I hop about to cut, I promise. And what book is this? So Anti-Racist Baby was one book. And the other one is, what is this called? Jaguars, the Butterflies? I'm not even trying to butcher that name. Speak up when I hop about to... Then what? It's also, what is this? A poster says, we need diverse books. Well, except the Bible, anything conservative. They always say no to those, of course. And then she does a zoom in of a poster board for Black Lives Matter, which I still have an active challenge out there. I'll buy someone a drink if they could show me any example of BLM making a community more safe, increasing jobs for folks, or doing really any good. I mean, the founders were self-proclaimed Marxists who hated the nuclear family, which I would argue the government subsidies, incentive mechanisms for single-family mothers or single parent households is one of the biggest reasons why you have so many broken families and such high crime rates in the United States. Prior to those incentive mechanisms, the single mother instances, I mean, it was a fraction of what it is now. And it's led to a lot of bad things in many communities. And yeah, don't forget the founders of BLM also bought themselves mansions. Well, everyone else got nothing in true Marxist fashion. So there's also a BLM poster board. And then, what is this? Bunch of weird, creepy pictures. Yeah. What the heck? Yeah. What is the advantage of going to public school? Keep in mind, you also have record low ACT scores, 37-year low, I believe. But the teachers unions say they deserve more money. Yeah, I don't think so. And this went pretty viral. I got 6 million views as well as 102,000 likes. Could we make it 103 perhaps? No, but I did like it nevertheless. One of the first popular comments comes from Libercat Media TM, who says, quote, "It would be a shame if everyone were to tag Pittsburgh USD to this post and let them be known this isn't addressed immediately, that we will make a crap ton of noise about it so their blatant violation of Trump's executive order is noticed and they can be held accountable for it," getting 3.4 thousand likes. But she probably is a tenured teacher, so she can acquiesce pretty much any responsibility or any ramifications of any of her actions. You have Wall Street Maverick saying, quote, "She should be in jail," getting 659 likes, which, yeah, it's kind of creepy. Well, not kind of, it is creepy how they are grooming these kids. You also have Metal Mark saying, quote, "Man, they should just comply, never resist authority." Oh, we did get a contrarian statement. That's rare. Usually Libs TikTok, the audience is much more, I would say, libertarian and right wing. So Metal Mark is saying, quote, "Man, they should just comply." He says, "Never resist authority, always comply," right? Chea, which is her name, the Libs of TikTok. You also have somebody named a Pregnant Redhead saying, quote, "Arrest her." There's a picture of, teachers when I was a kid, and you got, nice looking grandmas who are dressed conservatively. And they say, quote, "I hope everyone has a good recess. It's time for math." Then teachers now, they all look, radical leftists with creepy short pink and purple hair. And it says, "Whiteness is a privilege. Now who is ready to hear about my sexuality?" Getting 2.6 thousand likes, which is kind of sad. This isn't like a parody or joke. There are many teachers that are creepy enough to be proudly proclaiming their sexual proclivities in front of the kids and coming out of the closet. Which, again, back in the day, teachers would just, teach what was in the book and not talk about like their home life at all. Their personal life was personal. And now you have teachers crying on the TikTok saying, they feel so good to be able to come out to these kids. It's so creepy. That got, again, 2.6 thousand likes. You also have John saying, quote, "When a teacher turns a classroom into a political propaganda machine, it's not education, it's child abuse." Gained 5,000 likes. John Rocker says, "I hope the school district grows a pair and terminates her." Gained 5.7 thousand likes. I mean, that being said, a lot of these school districts are very much radical leftists, and she's probably a protected unionized teacher, can't be fired no matter how much damage she causes. Bad Karma has a picture of a gal with a poster board saying, quote, "No one cares what kind of sex you have, just stop telling kids about it." Getting 1.2 thousand likes. Nilo says, quote, "Melanie turning a classroom into a political billboard. That's not education, it's indoctrination. Let's focus on reading, writing, math, science, not woke activism." Getting 2.3 thousand likes. Yep. There's a reason China is beating us in all the test scores. Yeah, because they focus on the materials. Pretty much, I would argue any country probably has higher test scores than us because they actually focus on the materials, not indoctrination. And trying to remove all political bias or anything, like just logically, how does this prep the kids for a better life? Is it teaching them anything? No. And some of these schools have these perverse books like, oh geez, they're so disgusting. They actually show graphical material on how to perform adult acts. I try to keep this moderately family friendly, but yeah, they have full descriptions written and drawn in these books. Yeah, there's a book called "This Is Gay," which is not, they don't mean to be pejorative by that title, but yeah. You have David Sullivan, which I will respect his pronouns, prosecute Fauci. Now he says, quote, "Grooming is a kid," or a little caricature of a kid throwing up a rainbow, and it says, "Leave kids alone," getting 857 likes. Which, yeah. We'll see how many people, again, the only silver lining of the pandemic was a lot of parents saw via the Zoom meetings what the schools are really teaching. It's also creepy how a lot of teachers' unions do not want to give syllabus, or AKA they don't want the parents knowing what they're teaching there. I think it's kind of telling in and of itself. But yeah, probably the only silver lining was that, yeah, parents saw what was going on, and there's a record number of parents homeschooling right now. So that is exceptional good news. And yeah, I think Trump is going to come in, and I think if he does hear about this, I suspect they will pull the school's funding, or more realistically, the teacher take down the material, and they'll maintain their federal funding. I would say that has the highest propensity of happening. But yeah, it's Sandy's back in the classroom, and it is also creepy. A lot of these classrooms have no American flag, but they'll have all those different flags. Some of them, even more abhorrent, will even have a Texas flag, which I would argue every Texas school should have the Texas flag, but that's just me. Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click the button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.